Hey YouTube, it's ICU, and today I wanted to do a review for the 15-inch MacBook Pro 2011 model, and I did get this on Monday, so I've almost had it for about a week. I just wanted to start off this review by going over some of the physical aspects of it. So this thing is 5.6 pounds, and it is 0.95 inches thick, so it isn't even an inch thick all the way around, and it is roughly 14.35 inches from this end to this end. And the reason why it isn't 15 inches is because they measure the screen diagonally, so that's how they get that number. Also, I just wanted to go over some of the ports that it has too really quick. So right here, this is the power port. It is also known as the MagSafe charging port. And then next to it we have the Ethernet port, and then right here, FireWire. And then here we have the new Thunderbolt I/O port. And what's actually really interesting is this is actually the mini display port. So if you want to hook up any external monitor to it, you're going to have to get a mini display port to either DVI, VGA, or HDMI adapter. And you just plug it right in there. And then it has two USB ports right there. And it has a SD card slot right here and a headphone port right there. So that's basically it on that side. And over here we just have the CD slot where you can put in your CD. And then here, again, this is just the indicator light to let you know if it's asleep or if it is just powered off. Because if it's asleep, this light will flash. And also, I forgot, on this side we have this button right here, and this will indicate the charge of it. So you push this button and it has 3 dots filled, and as you can see, it goes all the way up here. So that is how you can tell how much battery it has before actually like turning it on and going in and checking yourself. So that's pretty much it. Now I just wanted to go over the rest of the specifications with it. Now it does have Wi-Fi built in as well as Bluetooth, and it does have a HD FaceTime camera. So the screen is actually 15.4 inches diagonally, and it has a 2 GHz i7 processor with 6 megabytes shared L3 cache, and it has an AMD Radeon HD 6490M graphics processor with 256 megabytes of DDR5 memory on 2 GHz configuration. And it also has an Intel HD Graphics 3000 with 384 megabytes of DDR3 SDR RAM, which is shared with the main memory. Now by default this does come with 4 gigs of RAM, but I actually upgraded it to the 8 gigs of RAM because you can do that option for $200 extra when you buy it. Now what's really nice is it has a multi-touch trackpad, and I actually thought that this was going to be quite difficult to use when you're actually trying to right click with it or something like that. But to right click, all you do is you just take 2 fingers and you press in on it like that, and it's just that simple. And it also is really nice to navigate through everything on your computer with just simple gestures. And also too, the speakers are absolutely amazing on this thing. So I'm going to get a close-up. As you can see, the speaker goes from here to here, and it goes all the way down, and it actually is pretty big, and it has them on both sides too. So the speakers sound absolutely awesome on this thing. And I actually thought that the keyboard would be too small, considering the rest of it is pretty big in comparison to it. As you can see, the keyboard only has a small space, and the rest of it is just like either empty space, the trackpad, or the speakers. Well, the keyboard actually is perfect. It's basically just the same size as any other standard keyboard, so I actually didn't find that to be a drawback at all. Now before I got this, I was actually a little hesitant to get it because, you know, it is a Mac, and I have been a PC user for a long time, an avid PC user, and I never thought I'd end up actually getting a Mac. Well, a bunch of my friends actually talked me into getting it, so I decided to just go ahead and, I don't know, take a dive at it, I guess, and I would just like return it if I didn't like it. But this is absolutely amazing. I love this computer. It is so much better than any PC that I've ever had before, and partly because of the hardware, it just is absolutely awesome. It just looks amazing. Everything functions great, and it's also mostly because of the software. So Mac OS X is superior superior compared to any version of Windows. And I know most people say that you can't really game on a Mac. However, that's not really the case anymore, because I've even loaded up Assassin's Creed 2 and played that, and it works just fine. The graphics look absolutely awesome on it. So that is definitely not the case anymore, because it can handle those intense games. So it actually is really great for gaming. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as a PC with like a superior graphics card or something like that. But I mean, as I told you guys, its processor is a 2 gigahertz i7 processor, which is actually pretty amazing considering it is only a laptop, and it also does have 8 gigs of RAM, which is insane, because my desktop, before I sold it, it actually only had 8 gigs of RAM, and it had a 2.86 gigahertz i7 processor. Now, I know that is a difference of 0.86 gigahertz, and that actually can be quite a lot, but I found that just by using a couple applications here and there, and also games, sometimes I have probably up to 10 applications running at once in multiple different windows, with multiple different windows of Safari and also a game going on, and it works just fine. It never goes above 20% of CPU usage, so I found that it actually does manage it really well. So that's it for the hardware part of it. Now I'm just going to go ahead and switch on over to actually recording the screen and showing you guys why I actually like the Mac OS X operating system better than Windows 7 or just any other Windows operating system. And I'm just going to give you guys a couple quick things, because I don't want this video to be too long. Alright, so as I said before, I just wanted to make this really quick and simple. So I'm just going to start off by saying the number one thing that I like the most about a Mac-based computer as opposed to a Windows-based computer is just the level of usability for it. For instance, if you want to do something like install something, all you have to do is just download it and basically drag it to the applications folder. Now, some things such as Xcode are a little different, because you actually have to, go through installing it and stuff like that. But you don't have to restart your computer every single time you install something, and it's just super easy to access anything and use it. And also, it's just extremely simple to figure out what you're doing and like how to do it. And also too, if you want to switch between different applications really easily, then what you do is, obviously after you open them up, you can simply use gestures. So like, for instance, I just swipe down with 4 fingers on my trackpad, and I have the option to pick between these two, or I can swipe up with 4 fingers to go to the desktop of it, and then, obviously I can access other things there. So as you can see, it's just really easy to use. And also too, like for instance, I have a folder, and I'm going to show you where that folder is. It is under my username right here, and it's called Games. So I put it here, and Games is actually on my dock, as you can see right here. And then what you can do is simply click on it like so, and it kind of does an accordion style fold out, and you can access all of your games right from here. So like for instance, if I want to play Super Mega Worm, I can just click on it and it will just open it up right from that folder itself. So you don't actually have to have things installed actually in your applications, because as you'll notice, I'll go into all of my applications and show you guys that I don't even have Super Mega Worm here. So I'm going to type in Super Mega Worm, and the reason why it's coming up is because it's searching this Mac. But if I want to search just applications, it's not even in the applications folder itself. So you can run programs in different applications without them being inside of applications, if that makes any sense. So it's not like a Windows-based computer in that sense at all. And obviously, it's just super easy to do anything. I mean, Windows just overcomplicates everything, and this is just very easy to, again, just basically do whatever you want. And obviously this isn't the best game to demonstrate graphics, but as I was mentioning before, it can handle more intensive games such as Assassin's Creed. So I'm going to go ahead and load up Assassin's Creed now. Alright, so now it's loading it up. Alright, so now it is loaded up, and I'm just going to begin a quick session here, and I'm just going to show you guys that again it can handle these graphic intensive games. Okay, so there we go. I'm moving around, and again it just looks awesome, and the graphics aren't even turned up all the way. I think they're actually medium right now, but again it can handle games like that. So I just love my Mac. I'd recommend it to any single person. And if someone asked me whether or not I'd rather have the 13-inch, I'd say absolutely not, because the screen size is, first of all, bigger. Second of all, the 15-inch has better specs than the 13-inch. And third of all, I don't know, I've just come to actually really like this Mac, and the 15-inch is absolutely perfect. The 17-inch is a little too big. So if I had to rate the 15-inch 2011 MacBook Pro, I would give it a 10 out of 10. I'd actually give it higher if you were doing that, but again, I would give it a 10 out of 10. And I hope you guys like this video, and I hope you found it very informative. So please remember to let me know what you think in the comment section below, and subscribe if you aren't already. And until next time, this is ICU signing out.